Before the fall 2024 anime season began, Science Saru released Dan Da Dan, First Encounter in many theaters worldwide. This film featured the October 2024 anime's first, second, and third episodes. This was a strange and bold move on the studio's part. Nonetheless, it gave Dan Da Dan fans a wonderful tease of Season 1's future events. Dan Da Dan is a 12-episode anime series based on the manga created by Yukinobu Tatsu. In it, we follow Momo and Akarin, two high school students who argue over each other's fandom. Momo believes in ghosts, whereas Akarin values aliens. Akarin and Momo visit different areas that focus on their respective likes. When Momo and Akarin realize aliens and ghosts exist, they embark on a crazy quest for a pair of golden balls. Dan Da Dan's story is insane. Like many other anime with fantastic first episodes, Dan Da Dan's first chapter will leave audiences begging for more. It's the equivalent of hungering for a delicious treat. This anime features great action, wonderful sci-fi and supernatural aspects, and enough romance to hook anyone who loves spicy drama. This blend of ideas sounds chaotic on paper, but Tatsu dedicates much time to each genre his series tackles. Additionally, Dan Da Dan contains great suspense. Many episodes end with a cliffhanger, exciting audiences for the next one. Moreover, Dan Da Dan has its share of jump scares, reminiscent of those found in classic and modern Hollywood horror films. These techniques are effective and never feel dull. The comedy is superb. Dan Da Dan's humor will tickle some fans' funny bones, from quirky eating habits to amusing arguments. While the story can be action-packed and wacky, Dan Da Dan's tale hits emotional highs. From Momo and Akarin's tense discussions to the story arc involving acrobatic Silky, Tatsu knows how to hit his audience with deep scenarios. At the same time, this tale has its shortcomings. For instance, certain chapters aren't paced well. While some fans won't mind the rapid pacing, it's easy to miss important dialogue. Moreover, Season 1 contains its share of unrealistic segments. The events in Episode 5 are a great example. Momo and Akarin are nearly next to each other in specific scenes. Yet, the story wants viewers to believe they can't hear each other despite being several inches apart. It's moments like these that'll leave some audiences scratching their head. Additionally, the anime's ecchi elements may not appease everyone. The first episode is a great example of that. While it wonderfully sets the series' tone, some may not adore the explicit material near that episode's midway point. It's a risky way to introduce a series to a newcomer. Besides that, Dan Da Dan's story is memorable, bizarre, and dashing. The characters are worthy of praise. Momo and Akarin are likable and relatable leads. While Momo's fiery persona can light a room of candles, she shows compassion for those who deserve it. Although Akarin is an awkward fellow, his love of sci-fi and strong loyalty make him a lovable companion. Allegedly, Tatsu read over 100 romance manga before he created Dan Da Dan. The ways Akarin and Momo bounce off each other add truth to that. Through encouraging conversations and casual misunderstandings, fans will love seeing Momo and Akarin build each other up. The secondary characters like Turbo Granny, Era, and Seiko were great additions. Turbo and Era start as enemies but become enjoyable supportive figures later in the story. Seiko may not look her age, but her actions in Season 1 prove why she's a necessary inclusion. Season 1 features countless antagonists. While some shine over others, many fans will adore what little lore Tatsu shares about each of them. Science Saru is an incredible animation studio. They have worked on anime, such as 2023's Scott Pilgrim, Takes Off, and 2018's Devilman Crybaby. With these well-acclaimed works in their catalog, many fans felt Dan Da Dan was in safe hands. Fortunately, that turned out to be the case. Dan Da Dan's animation was jaw-dropping and experimental in ways. From first-person POV sequences to exhilarating fisticuffs, Dan Da Dan's action segments are immersive. At the same time, Science Saru uses CGI in some instances. It's noticeable in some of its monster designs like Nessie, the Flatwoods Monster, and other creatures. While some fans won't mind, others may not, especially if they compare it to Tatsu's incredible drawings in the source material. Science Saru's use of color was hit and miss. Certain scenes could have looked better with a normal hue choice. The soundtrack is spectacular. From groovy beats to serene melodies, we're certain folks will search the web to purchase this show's OST. The English and Japanese voice casts performed their roles remarkably. While some will find the characters' outbursts grating, others will love what these voice talents brought to the production. Dan Da Dan is a wild anime that won't appeal to everyone. Its fast-paced, chaotic nature and sexual content could be a huge turnoff for most. Yet, through its insane and erratic instances lies a story with creativity, heart, and deep appeal.